In any season, a leaky home costs money. How do you stop it? It starts with a comprehensive home energy checkup. That's a series of tests and inspections to find out where your house could be more efficient. The end goal is to save energy, save money, and make your house more comfortable. Installing energy-efficient lighting and appliances will help. So will creating a sealed barrier around your house, kind of like putting a blanket around the outside, minimizing the leaks. Upgrading your home to save energy can put anywhere from 5 to 30% of your energy bill back in your pocket. Okay, to get a thorough home energy checkup, you'll need some help from a professional. Look for a home energy technician called an auditor in your area. Now, in this cold weather evaluation, the auditor starts on the outside, looking for problems around walls, joints, and under the eaves. If there's not a tight fit, you're losing energy and money. Next, the technician might head up to your attic to check for leaks on the top of your home barrier. That trap door could be a culprit, letting cold air pass into the house. A big part of the checkup is determining how well the insulation insulates. Insulation should be correctly installed in between all areas of the house frame. That means it needs to be evenly applied and not just jammed into spaces. And of course, if the insulation has fallen down, it's not working. Your energy auditor will inspect the holes where electrical lines pass through. If they're not sealed, they're leaking. Then it's down to the basement. Your furnace and water heater could be wasting energy. The auditor will check to see how energy efficient the furnace is. Furnaces generally lose efficiency as they get older, and it could cost you more to keep yours running than to replace it with a new one. Maybe all you need is a new filter. Some people haven't changed their filter for months, even years. That gunk clogging the filter means your furnace has to work harder to heat your home. If the water heater is several years old, it may not be efficient. And if it isn't insulated, it's also losing energy. Now it's on to the ductwork. The technician will inspect connections to make sure they make a tight fit. They have to be sealed to keep the warm air going where it's supposed to go. If the screwdriver can go in the hole, it means one thing for sure: money is going out. Now for the blower door test. The energy auditor will close all the windows and doors and anything else that lets outside air in. This special fan will depressurize the home. The idea is to suck air out of the house, allowing outside air to rush into the home through all those openings you didn't know about. Okay, so with the windows and doors closed and the fan running, leaks are easy to spot with an infrared camera. In winter, the auditor will scan the interior of the home looking for cold air rushing in. Here, the darker the color, the worse it is. These black spots mean one big air leak. It's an eye-opening experience. For this house, the recessed lighting fixtures are big problems. The auditor will also take a look at the kinds of light bulbs in those fixtures. If they're incandescents, they're using a lot of energy. Warm, compact fluorescents are an energy-saving alternative. So, the home energy assessment reveals ways that energy escapes your home, costing you money. The good news is, you'll have a comprehensive home energy report showing which efficiency upgrades are right for you and where to stop those pesky leaks.
got a fairly modern house, a little less than 10 years old. Fully insulated house, good quality windows, insulated doors. Homeowner's got a little bit of an office space over the garage.
Huh.
You notice we got the fully continuous soffit venting up above.
Where do you start your audits?
Best bet is start right inside. It's helpful for us to speak with the homeowner in advance, and we spoke with the homeowner here about some of the issues in the house.
Which were?
Very cold house, a lot of drafts, extremely cold room over the garage, and not surprisingly, high heat bills.
I bet you hear those couple things very often.
Well, very typical complaint.
It's a fully insulated house, though, so how do you kind of get to the root of the problem?
Luckily, we've got the diagnostic equipment, such as this infrared thermal camera.
All right, so we've got a monitor here. Can I
Sure.
plug it
Give
in
me
and have a
hand with
look?
this if you would. Plug this in. I'll show you exactly how we can utilize this.
Take a look at the house and see what we've got. So if it's taking pictures of temperature, what is hot, what is cold?
Well, for example, we'll start on this window. You can see cold is represented by black.
so this big black patch right there,
Right.
that's all cold.
Right. Low temperature, as opposed to, of course, the warmth of my hand.
Oh yeah, nice bright
So,
and white. All right.
Fairly straightforward, very easy to interpret. Now you can see as I pan over the studding, the wood studding.
So the vertical lines, the darker lines here represent the studs, and in between it is whiter, so that's warmer because of the insulation?
Right. The insulation has a higher R value than the adjacent studs.
So let's start the audit.
Well, I've been through the whole first floor. I think we should go upstairs to find out what's going on.
So around the corners there, it gets a little dark, and you think that's because what is fiberglass insulation pulled away?
Could be. You need good contact with the ceiling board to get that good thermal performance.
It's a lot of dark around the perimeter. What's going on here?
The closer we get to the eave, the more substantial the heat loss is.
Boy, that is really dark.
This is ice cold here, Kevin, almost as if it were totally uninsulated.
We've got ourselves a serious problem in the attic, don't we?
We've got to get up there and check that out. Another place we always want to check for drafts, Kevin, and heat loss is interior partitions.
Interior walls? I thought
That's
we were looking
right.
for drafts, though.
Well, let me show you some interior shots with a scanner. Here we are, a heated partition between the bathroom and heated bedroom beyond.
So heated space on either side of this wall, and what are we looking at?
Well, you can readily see cold air between the studs here, represented in black.
So the studs here are white, and then the space in between, which is darker, is cold?
Full of cold air. Somehow this interior partition is connected to the cold attic above. Sometimes these interior partitions can almost act as a chimney or a conduit. Warm air goes through the sheetrock into the uninsulated wall and is carried, warm air rises right up into the attic.
So that's another draft. How do we tackle that problem?
We're going to have to go up in the attic to see the detail. Take a dust mask.
Okay, always a good thing to be using when we are working around insulation, and
Right.
some gloves as well.
Exactly.
So you've got some air leaks to show me?
Right. If you recall, we were downstairs for one of the big air leaks we saw was inside the bathroom partition.
That's right. You actually said the air was moving through the wall.
Right. Let's look down below here. We're right over that partition.
Oh my, look at
Here we are.
the size of that opening.
Right. Right. You can actually feel the warmth rising up.
It's like a giant chimney running through the center of the house.
It's a heat loss conduit dumping warm air right into the attic.
And you're telling me that I can feel that.
Right. Is there any wonder their heat bill's so high? Okay, one of the first steps I want to do is just create a little bit of a backer, just using some random unfaced fiberglass material. This just works as a temporary stop.
So this is not the air barrier.
This is definitely not the air barrier, because we know that fiberglass by itself will not stop air movement. With our fiberglass backer now in place, I can seal this with the foam. Let me show you how this works.
And it expands as it's applied.
Right. It takes about 20 seconds to really cure, but it's a fairly rapid.
And then so once this sets up, that's going to make an airtight barrier that'll stop this chimney or stack effect?
That's exactly right, Kevin. Then at that point, we're going to put our fiberglass back down. The fiberglass will now do a good job because it's in an airtight configuration.
So Bruce, a lot of these holes that we found and have plugged are sort of in the center of this attic area or the
Right.
ceiling below. But when we looked at that thermal image a little earlier on, all the dark black spots were around the edges here. So I think that's where the heat loss is coming
Well,
from.
we also had heat loss out near the eave area. Let me show you what's driving that particular problem. One, the insulation bat doesn't always go all the way out to where it should.
So there's a gap, and that's just 0 R value.
Exactly. Number two, the particular type of vent chute used does little to block cold air from actually getting underneath our fiberglass bat and cooling down the bedroom ceiling below. Let me show you a little better solution to that. that allows for the ventilation. This is a corrugated cardboard chute made just for that purpose. Fits right into the 16-inch on center framing.
And then you just sort of staple it to the side.
Fasten that, but it also has this vertical component to it. And what that does, it blocks that and diverts that soffit air on top of the fiberglass.
So the air is still allowed to come up through the soffit, but instead of coming this way underneath the fiberglass or through the fiberglass, it's actually blocked and diverted up into the rafter bay where it is supposed to be.
Right. Very simple solution.
And then you just put that in the rafter bays all the way around. Okay.
That's right. Then we can push our fiberglass all the way out to where it should be.